So, J-Rock, new album, Redemption, on their Top Dog Entertainment, and always great to see how far they've come. Always seem to push the envelope on the sound that they're capturing. J-Rock has, for about 3 to 5 years, been really expanding his flow and his deliveries and the vocal tones that he uses to kind of give you a different side of his personality, despite being obviously the, Watts' finest rapper. I mean, what other label has seen this kind of success throughout the board for this many artists on that label? Is TDE the most successful hip-hop label ever in history? And of course, we're not talking about Def Jam, none of the majors. I'm talking about like something independently that represents one brand and one listing of artists. Like, what do you guys think? What do you guys think has been the most successful label? Cash Money had a pretty good run. No Limit obviously had a great run. But do they match up not just in success, but also in cultural, what's the word I'm looking for? Cultural representation, like the way that they're doing it, the sound of their music, the organic texture of the music they release is always so extremely in depth and carries a message and a content. And even Schoolboy Q, who is more on the party end and has been pushed that way, has been able to kind of morph himself into the ability of doing personal, emotional records like Phenomenon, which was one of my favorite records. And I think J-Rock, though, the one to open the door for TDE early on, has been the hardest to step out of his pocket and kind of the box that people tend to put him in, which is just California, LA street gangster rap with Bloodiest, which there's already a video out for. You can check out some of this here. The beat is just mean. I mean, I haven't even looked at the production credits, honestly, and I really want to check it out because I know that TDE tends to do a lot of stuff in-house, but I know with Mike Will Made It putting so much work on Damn for Kendrick, maybe some of those production pieces ended up on some of these albums. So I'm also really excited to see some of these other TDE artists that are more on the rap side, since they've been so focused on SZA, Inglewood Sir, and Skywalker. J-Rock's really the first one since Kendrick to really be on some hardcore hitting rap shit. Like an Alchemist influenced kind of production, but it's mean, man. Knock It Off was really good too. I allowed J-Rock to, I said again, tweak his vocal tones and really play with his delivery. Knock It Off, I think, could do a remix. I mean, people aren't even really doing remixes, but I think Knock It Off had a very E40-ish kind of vibe where I could have heard him on the feature to kind of give it that, that extra bounce and that extra personality. But I know it's great for Jay to actually be able to do these records and to do the hook and the verses and to be able to say, I did this kind of record and I executed it and it came out the way it was supposed to. Now, East Side Tales, to me, one of the strongest records. It was real hard. Interesting that he also goes into the social side of things, stating, I'm all about the money, give a fuck about some Trump shit. Basically saying, like, those kind of problems don't even reach my neighborhood. That we don't even, we are the recipients of the results of the things and orders that are passed at that level, but we barely can reach that level. And I think it's important to note that one of J-Rock's biggest accomplishments with always going back, and they do a festival there every year with TDE and Watts, and they do a lot of things in the community. His neighborhood is maybe one of the most important things in his life, and it's what made him who he is and build the foundation for TDE to even be what they are now. Now, I will say, there are some records on this project that, not because they're better or worse than other records, but that almost kind of sound similar, and I think within that, they could have took this project down like maybe 3 or 4 records. And again, not because they're not good, but because I feel like we're repeating vibes and with people's attention span. But to be completely honest with you, TDE's fan base is extremely loyal. So I don't think there's any shortcut takers in the process of listening to these albums. And, everything I've heard from this album up to this point has been that it may be one of the top albums of the year. So, of course, once again, we have the standout feature of the summer so far, Jeremiah, with another one. he's really, it's almost like he's like the secret tool. It's like what The Weeknd was when he came out, where everyone was using him on their hooks. That's what he's been this summer. I mean, he's been all over the Kanye releases, rollouts, and now you see him here on the Top Dog release under in J-Rock's Redemption. That record could definitely go. I really hope we get some good, solid visuals. Out of Sight, Out of Mind is a record that I think is definitely one of the most dynamic records on the project, with J. Cole obviously on the assist. I haven't checked the production on this but I'll put it right there as well for you guys. But J-Rock and J. Cole seem to have really good chemistry in regards to not just the sound of their voices, but the way that they bounce off the beats, and their deliveries are relatively different, but they still hit a very, very solid pocket within the production. And I think this holds really solid ground in the middle of the project, where as to I'll tell you guys later, I do have some things where the sequence felt that it didn't have to be stretched out as long, and then maybe some of the records were just a little late that I think just set the tone for the environment and the atmosphere that J-Rock's bringing to the table at this point.
Can I do my shiznit? Can I be specific? Can I chase?
In itself just really brings this record to life and kind of allows you to visualize what he's talking about, as opposed to just being like, man, I really like be about the delivery and the beat. This one, it's really more about the full picture, and he does a really good job of painting that for you guys. Thought Wow and Win were really good. I think you could have took Win and put it higher in the track listing, because I just think it's such a, to me, it's just such a gate opener. And I know TDE likes to go against the grain, and I know they like to essentially Win at the end of this project symbolizes that they are winning, with the championship tour, their success of all these different artists, and all these different skills, and all these different type of soundscapes, and even their production team. You gotta look at what they did on the Black Panther soundtrack, which to me was a great success in comparison to the numbers that the movie did. I'll bring it down to about 11, so 11 out of 13. Again, J-Rock is always impressive. King's Dead is on this song as well, by the way, from the Black Panther soundtrack, which, by the way, they should have done a remix on this. This should have been a, black hippie compilation thing. Leave a comment, let me know. Let me know, did you like the review? Is there something I missed? Is there something that I'm just full of shit on and you want to call me out on it? That's fine too. And of course, Instagram, Twitter, R Hustle Radio, and Rambo Hustle. Right there, boom. Boom. Have a great night. Peace, love, and hip hop. Woo!
Back up on my bullshit like I'm masterminding Watergate. Nixon on my